Morning, Your Honor. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, are you able to hear me?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, and the defendant has indicated that he can hear me, and for the record, this is Flavia Rodriguez, State Certified Court Interpreter, previously sworn in today.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir, or good morning. Your name, please?
Jorge Castellón.
Jorge Castellon.
Sir, you're here for initial appearance. You have been arrested in case 2022 CT 4753, a charge of operating a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license.
Your Honor, state did convey an offer of a withhold of adjudication for time served.
Were you able to go over that with him?
No, Your Honor, because he spoke Spanish.
Okay. All right, sir. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender. Bond is will be stated $1,000. Good luck, sir. That's our only interpreter, guys? Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Interpreter. That's all we have.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good morning.
You too.
And I will waive and enter plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
Okay.
I believe Alexander was already waived.
Okay.
So he should have been.
And I will waive and enter plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
Okay, yeah, the public defender was previously appointed in gray, enter a plea of not guilty, except for the pretrial, that's in my division, 62.
Division 62 pretrial conference, October 31st at 8:30, courtroom 12C.
Same is restricted.
And I will waive and enter plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
We'll set for the pretrial, public defender previously appointed, division 63.
Pretrial conference, September 12th at 1 o'clock, courtroom 10B.
He's got two cases.
Same division, so it'll be the same.
Those are both division 63, yeah.
S. Benjamin is restricted.
I will waive and enter plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
Public defender previously appointed, plea of not guilty, except for pretrial, division 84.
Pretrial conference, September 8th. September 8th at 8:45, courtroom 4B
He has two cases.
and 84.
Both in 84. Good morning, sir. Your name, please?
Good morning.
What's your name, please?
Joel Chester Owens.
Sir, you're here for an arraignment. In this case, you've been charged with petty theft. The public defender was previously appointed to represent you.
And Your Honor, we will enter plea of not guilty.
We'll set for the pretrial conference, division 61.
September 23rd at 9 o'clock, courtroom 7C.
Morning, sir. Your name, please?
Jonathan.
Mr. Perry, you're here for an arraignment. Office of the Public Defender previously appointed. You've been charged with improper exhibition of a dangerous weapon or firearm.
And we will enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
And we'll set for the pretrial, division 81.
September 23rd at 9 o'clock, courtroom 6B.
Morning, sir. Your name, please?
Kobe Vonchar Tillman.
Mr. Tillman, you're here for an arraignment. You've been charged with battery. All right, this time you asking for the court to appoint an attorney to represent you in this case, or are you going to hire an attorney?
To have, the,
Public defender?
yes, sir.
Okay. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
And I will enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll set for the pretrial, Division 62.
October 31st at 8:30, courtroom 12C.
So that should be the court date.
Smith Hussein, medical.
Medical?
Smith?
The public defender was previously appointed. We'll enter a plea of not guilty, and we'll set for the pretrial, Division 83.
Thank you.
Pretrial conference, September 12th at 8:30, courtroom 6C.
Morning, sir. Your name, please?
Michael Gonzalez.
Mr. Gonzalez, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for, looks like exposure of sexual organs. At this time, do you want me to appoint an attorney to represent you in this case, or are you going to hire an attorney?
No public defender.
That's what I'm asking you. Do you want me to appoint an attorney? You want the public defender?
Actually, no.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Your bond is going to be stayed at $500. I am going to order that you not return to the 7-Eleven at 4715 South Goldenrod Road, or have any, or the Wawa at 4700 South Goldenrod Road, or contact with any of the individuals involved.
And Your Honor, he does, he can. Could you do bond or pretrial release as a friend of the court, just in case? I'm not sure about his financial situation. But he doesn't have any history.
May I speak briefly?
Okay, well, you've got the right to remain silent. Today's not the trial, so we're not going to get at what the allegations are. Today's the only, I just want to tell you why you got arrested. And we want to just determine conditions of release. So it'll be a $500 bond will be stayed with the order not to return to either of those addresses, no contact with any of the folks working there, or pretrial release if you qualify. Okay, which would mean you wouldn't have to post a bond if you qualify. But they'll have to interview to see if that's a possibility. Okay, all right, good luck, sir. Good morning, sir. Your name, please?
Carl Jones.
Mr. Jones, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for a trespass after warning, provided false identification to law enforcement in an open container.
Your Honor, state did convey an offer to Mr. Jones of an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and no return to the 7-Eleven at 605 West Colonial.
And Mr. Jones would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest.
All right, Mr. Jones, I'm handed a plea form indicating you wish to withdraw your plea of, or just simply enter a plea of no contest to the charges, the 3 misdemeanors, and that the resolution would be an adjudication of guilt, credit for the 2 days you served in jail, and an order not to return to that 7-Eleven, and I'll give you time to get the cost paid. Is that your understanding?
Yes.
Holding up the plea form, it has your name at the top. Is that your signature at the bottom?
Yes.
You have a chance to read, review, and understand it before you signed it?
Yes.
To that charge, trespass after warning, how do you plead?
No contest.
And providing false identification to law enforcement, how do you plead?
No contest.
And open container, how do you plead?
No contest.
I'll accept your pleas. I'll adjudicate you guilty of all 3. I'll give you credit for the 2 days you served in jail, order that you pay the costs, and I'll give you 350 days, just short of a year, to get the cost paid. All right, you've got 30 days to appeal. Any appeal must be in writing.
So,
Good luck, sir. You'll be processed and released today.
thanks.
Morning, sir. Your name, please? What's your name?
Zachary Lewis.
Mr. Lewis, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for loitering or prowling and resisting an officer without violence.
There wasn't an offer at this time, Your Honor.
Do you want me to appoint an attorney to represent you in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll appoint the public defender. I'll stay the bonds at $500 on count 1, $150 on count 2. I'm going to order that you not return to the Mercedes dealership there across from, on Millennium Boulevard, across from the mall, while this matter is pending. All right, good luck. Good morning, sir. Your name, please?
Jesus Marquez.
Mr. Marquez, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for a trespass after warning. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you.
Your Honor, state did convey an offer to Mr. Marquez of a adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and no return to the Circle K at 5051 Edgewater Drive.
Mr. Marquez would like to accept and enter plea of no contest.
All right, Mr. Marquez, I've been handed a plea form indicating you wish to plead no contest to that charge, trespass after warning. And it would just be an adjudication of guilt, credit for the 2 days you served in jail plus costs, and that would resolve the case today. Is that your understanding?
Yes, Your Honor.
Holding up the plea form, is that your name? I see your name at the top. Is that your signature at the bottom?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you have a chance to read, review, and understand the document before you signed it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, to that charge, trespass after warning, how do you plead?
No contest.
I'll accept that. I'll adjudicate you guilty, give you credit for 2 days, give you 350 days to get the cost paid. I'm going to order that you not return to that Circle K. Understand that you've been trespassed. If they see you back there, you're just going to be back here, which you don't want, okay? You have 30 days to appeal. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Robert Morgan? Bonded, thank you. All right. Yeah. Good afternoon, or good morning, sir. Your name, please?
Your mask.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Nelson. Mr. Nelson, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for trespass after warning.
Your Honor, state did convey an offer to Mr. Nelson of an adjudication, credit time served, and no return to 18 South Orange Blossom Trail to the Red Sea Store.
And Mr. Nelson would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest.
All right, Mr. Nelson, I've been handed a plea form indicating you wish to plead no contest to the offense of trespass after warning, and that the resolution is an adjudication of guilt, credit for the 2 days you served in jail, plus costs in order you not to return to the scene. Is that your understanding how the case will be resolved?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Holding up a plea form, it has your name at the top. Is this your signature at the bottom? Did you sign this?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Did you have a chance to review the form before you signed it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, to that charge of trespass after warning, how do you plead?
No contest.
I'll accept no contest. I'll adjudicate you guilty. I'll give you credit for the 2 days you served in jail. I'll give you 350 days to get the cost paid. Order you not to return to 2 South Orange Blossom Trail. Looks like it's called the Red Sea Store. Understand that you've been trespassed. If you go back there, you're just going to get rearrested. You don't want that, okay?
All right.
You got 30 days to appeal. Any appeal must be in writing. All right. Good luck, sir.
And on the clean out, you are not appointed.
Yeah, that's right.
Just clarifying.
Yeah, 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 we won't.
Can we reset for tomorrow, Your Honor? There is an offer.
Okay, we'll reset Mr. Parrish for tomorrow.
The same, Your Honor. There is an offer to resolve the trespass.
We'll reset Mr. Podgorski.
And I will waive the appearance, Your Honor.
On Arthur Riley, I'll appoint the public defender and stay the bond at $500. Order that he not return to the Circle K and no contact with the victim.
And I will waive the appearance, Your Honor.
Okay, on Jesse Rogers, I'll appoint the public defender. Has the state made a filing decision on the, well, probably, because if he's in PTD, they probably have. All right,
Yes, Your Honor, we filed back in May.
okay, let's see.
And, Your Honor, given that he is in pretrial diversion and it's a nonviolent offense that he's out on bond for, I would ask that you not revoke that bond and hold him at no bond. However, if you are inclined to revoke, that you revoke in double.
Yeah, it looks like, at least there's an allegation that they found something that's going to be tested. He wasn't arrested for it. So what I'll do is I'll appoint the public defender. I'll take no action on the out on bond. I'll increase the bond to $1,000. Order no return to the Family Dollar store. No contact with the victim.
So we,
That's one we just
The
did.
one we just did. And I will waive the, no, wait. Can we reset this for tomorrow, Your Honor, so I can speak to, he has an offer to resolve.
Yeah, let's reset it. He's got a whole bunch of stuff going on. Okay, we'll reset Styles for tomorrow.
There's a lot going on. It's like calm, not calm.
Morning, sir. Your name, please?
Rudolph Burgess.
Mr. Burgess, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for a city ordinance violation of disorderly conduct.
Your Honor, state can make an offer on behalf of the city to Mr. Burgess of a withhold and court costs.
And Mr. Burgess would like to accept and enter plea of no contest.
All right, Mr. Burgess, I've been handed a plea form indicating you wish to plead no contest to this city ordinance violation of disorderly conduct. You'll withhold of adjudication credit for the 2 days plus cost. Is that your understanding?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Holding up a plea form, it has your name at the top. Is that your signature at the bottom?
Yes, sir.
Did you have a chance to read, review, and understand it before you signed it?
Yes, sir.
All right, to that city ordinance violation, disorderly conduct, how do you plead?
No contest.
I'll accept that. I'll withhold adjudication, give you credit for 2 days. I'll give you 350 days to get the costs paid. You have 30 days to appeal, so you'll be processed and released on this today, okay? Good luck, sir.
Release today.
Okay, on mental health, we'll reset for tomorrow.
Yes, Your Honor. Need to see this.
Good morning, sir. Your name, please? What's your name?
Anthony Rome?
Mr. Rome, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for a city ordinance violation of disorderly conduct.
Your Honor, state conveyed an offer to Mr. Rome on behalf of the city of a withhold of adjudication credit time served.
And Mr. Rome would like to accept and enter plea of no contest.
All right, Mr. Rome, I've been handed a plea form indicating you wish to plead no contest to the city ordinance violation of disorderly conduct with the understanding it'd be a withhold of adjudication credit for the 2 days you served in jail. That would resolve your case today. Is that your understanding? Yes? Okay.
Sir.
Holding up the plea form, it has your name at the top. Is that your signature at the bottom? Yes, you got an opportunity to read, review, and understand it before you signed it?
Yes, sir.
All right, to that city ordinance violation, disorderly conduct, how do you plead?
No contest.
I'll accept that. I'll withhold adjudication, give you credit for 2 days. I'll give you 350 days to pay the costs. You have 30 days to appeal, and you'll be processed and released as to this today, okay? Good luck.
Thanks, sir.
David Taylor.
Morning, Mr. Taylor. You're here, I'm sorry, are you David Taylor?
Sir.
Okay. Mr. David Taylor, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for, oh, they did this, unauthorized presence in an unoccupied or unfinished building and a second count. Don't make it easy. I don't know. Is that just simply is it a state misdemeanor? Is that just a
I
trespass in
think
the
it's a
structure?
trespass, Your Honor.
Okay, all right.
State did convey an offer on behalf of the city of an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and no return to the building.
All right, Mr. Taylor, I've been handed a plea form indicating you wish to plead no contest to the city ordinance violations, that you be adjudicated guilty, be given credit for the 2 days, and be ordered not to return to the scene at 722 Short Avenue. That would resolve the case today. Is that your understanding?
Yes.
Okay. Holding up a plea form, it has your name at the top. Is that your signature at the bottom?
Yes.
Did you have a chance to read, review, and understand it before you signed it?
Yes.
All right, to that city ordinance violation, unauthorized presence in an unoccupied building, how do you plead?
No contest.
And to the state misdemeanor violation, which is a trespass in a structure, how do you plead?
No contest.
I'll accept those pleas. I'll adjudicate you guilty, give you credit for 2 days that you served in jail, order that you not return to the scene, 722 Short Avenue. Understand if you go back, you're just going to get rearrested. Okay, you've got 350 days to pay the cost, 30 days to appeal. You'll be processed and released today, okay? Good luck.
Your Honor, Timothy Taylor refused.
We'll reset for tomorrow, Your Honor.
We'll reset Taylor for tomorrow. Timothy Taylor for tomorrow. Morning, sir. Your name, please?
Q. San Uter.
Mr. Uter, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for, let's see,
I believe it's a resisting, Your Honor.
okay. Yeah, resisting. All right, so you were arrested for the offense of, it's a city ordinance violation of state misdemeanor for the misdemeanor being resisting an officer. And I understand that you wish to resolve that matter by pleading no contest. And you be adjudicated guilty, be given credit for 2 days that you served in jail plus the cost. That would resolve the case today. Is that your understanding?
Yes, sir.
Holding up the plea form, it has your name at the top. Is that your signature at the bottom?
Yes, sir.
Did you have the opportunity to read, review, and understand it before you signed it?
Yes, sir.
All right. To that city ordinance violation, how do you plead?
No contest.
I'll accept no contest. I'll adjudicate you guilty, give you credit for 2 days that you served in jail. I'll give you 350 days to pay the cost. You have 30 days to appeal. I'll take no action on the out on bond. All right, good luck, sir.
Gary Brumfield bonded.
On Brumfield bonded. Thank you. All right, good morning, sir. Your name, please?
Quincy Dames.
Mr. Dames, you're here for initial appearance. You were arrested for reckless driving. I'll appoint the public defender.
I would ask for pretrial release, Your Honor. He does qualify.
Qualify. I'll release you on pretrial release in lieu of a bond.
Stay in contact.
All right. And I've appointed the public defender. Good luck, sir.
No conditions, Your Honor.
No.
Your Honor, Robert Burgos, he refused.
Burgos refused.
I will waive the appearance, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll appoint the public defender. I'll take no action on the out on bond. That happened after the allegations and this new arrest. So bonds will be stayed. Count 1, bond is $100,000. Count 2, $2,500. Counts 3, 4, and 5 at $100 each. Total $102,800. Public defenders appointed. Carter refused.
We'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
I'll appoint the public defender and stay the bonds. On the first case, we've got 2,500 count, I'm sorry, there may only be one count, just a lot of paperwork. Okay, so on the count 1, bond will be stayed at 2,500, count 2, 100, count 3, 100.
And I will waive the appearance, Your Honor.
I'll appoint the public defender, stay the bond at $2,500. Morning, your name, please?
Mary Griffin.
Ms. Griffin, you're here for initial appearance on two matters. First, you've been arrested for battery on a law enforcement officer. And second, you were arrested for trespass in an occupied structure and resisting an officer without violence. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in these cases. On the battery on a law enforcement officer, I'll stay the bond at $2,500. On the second case, I'll reduce the bond on the trespass to $100 and stay the bond on the other count, resisting at $100. Okay, good luck, ma'am.
Tracy Hardy's behavior, Your Honor.
Hardy's behavior.
I will waive your appearance.
I'll appoint the public defender, stay the bonds, $3,000 on count one, $1,500 on count two.
Mr. Henry refused.
And I will waive, Your Honor.
Mr. Henry, I'll appoint the public defender, stay the bonds, $1,000 on count one, $500 on count two.
Yes.
Morning, sir. Your name, please? Mr. Levitt, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for failing to appear at a pretrial conference, April 19th of last year, on charges of burglary of a dwelling and possession of drug paraphernalia. The bonds have been set at $10,000 on count one and $200 on count two. And was the public defender previously appointed in this case? Yes, okay, so you got the public defender, okay? Good luck, sir.
Judge, Ms. McDonald refused.
And I
That's-
will waive, Your Honor.
Cassidy, McConnell, stay the bonds, $1,000 on each count. Public defender appointed. Yep. Good morning, sir. Your name, please?
Good morning, Jesus Perez.
Mr. Perez, you're here for initial appearance. Okay. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You've been arrested for driving while license revoked as a habitual offender, possession of a controlled substance, and possession of less than 20 grams of cannabis. And you're also currently out on bond for possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver and possession of drug paraphernalia. Has the state made a filing decision on that, out on bond?
No, Your Honor, he was arrested May 17th, and to date, no filing decision has been made. So I'd ask that you take no action.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then I'll take no action on the out on bond. Hadn't been a filing decision yet. It's been a while. On the other case, the new case, I'll stay the bonds to $2,500 on count one, $250 each on counts two and three. I am going to order as a condition that you not drive without a valid license while this matter's pending. All right. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Morning. Your name, sir? Mr. Rivera, you're here for initial appearance. Going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You've been arrested for driving as a habitual traffic offender. The bond set at $2,500. We're going to order that you not drive without a valid license while this matter is pending.
Looks like he qualifies for pretrial release.
Okay.
I would ask for pretrial release.
Any objection to pretrial release, State?
Your Honor, I'll leave it within your discretion. State's just concerned. He has, it looks like, several dwellings. It seems like a constant issue for Mr. Rivera.
Hence habitualized. So, okay. I'll release you on pretrial release with that condition that you not drive without a valid license. Expect if you get caught driving that you're going to be sitting in jail on no bond until the case is over, okay? Good luck. Good afternoon, sir. Your name, please?
Joshua Temple.
Mr. Temple, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested pursuant to a capias and also for failure to appear. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in both these cases. On the burglary of a dwelling, bond has been set at $3,500 with the condition that you have no contact with any victim or witnesses, that you not return to the scene, that you possess no weapons or firearms, and that you failed to appear for a pretrial conference back in November of 2020, and that bond set at, well, it says it's set at pretrial release.
Okay.
It'll be pretrial release or $500. You may not qualify for pretrial release, so it'll be pretrial release or $500 on the failure to appear. And I'll appoint the public defender both cases. Good luck.
Take this.
3,500. Morning, your name, sir? Mr. Williams, you're here for initial appearance on a couple of cases. You've been arrested for possession of methamphetamine, also for pursuant to a warrant for possession of cocaine. I'll appoint the public defender in both cases. Bond on each case is set at $1,000. So $2,000 total. All right. Good luck, sir. Morning, your name, sir? Mr. Wolford, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for possession of MDMA. I'll appoint the public defender. The bond set at $1,000. That's it. All right, we are in recess.
To the state attorney.
Letitia George on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender.
Thank you. That's fine.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jaime Sotomayor, certified federal interpreter, not sworn yet today.
Swear in, Mr. Interpreter, please.
Do you solemnly swear to translate from English to Spanish, from Spanish to English to the best of your ability?
I do. Jaime Sotomayor, certified federal interpreter.
Thank you.
1 second while I connect to the headset.
Thank you.
We are connected.
Good morning, sir. Your name, please?
Eduardo Cinto Mejías.
Sir, you're here for initial appearance. This is case 22 CF 9772 AO. You've been arrested for the offenses of child abuse and domestic violence battery. At this time, do you want the court to appoint an attorney to represent you, or are you going to hire an attorney, sir?
No, yo quiero un abogado que.
No, I would like to have an attorney appointed.
I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. State you have a position on bond.
Your Honor, he is entitled to a bond. However, so we just ask that you take into account He hasn't been in the area long, I believe 3 months to a year, and he is an illegal alien. The state's concerned regarding his ability and willingness to show back up to court. So state would ask that you take that into account, as well as the allegation within the affidavit is the child abuse was on an 11-month-old child who then had a large bruise on his side. So state would also ask that you take that into account when setting Mr. Sinton, he is bond.
Defense, do you have a position on bond?
I just ask that you consider his criminal history, Your Honor, and also a one-time return with law enforcement to gather any belongings.
All right, sir, I'm gonna set your bond on the child abuse count at $5,000. On the battery count, I'll set the bond at $500. I'm gonna order that you have no contact with Amanda Tomasa Hernandez Salez or any of the children in common, that you maintain a separate residence. If she's residing at the Oak Ridge Road apartment, you're gonna have to live somewhere else. You can return there one time with law enforcement to get your personal belongings. You're not to go back there alone. You're not to have contact with her or the children. In addition, I'm gonna order that you have possess no weapons, no firearms, and consume no alcohol.
I believe DCF is
And that you'll have to cooperate with any Department of Children and Families investigations. Good luck, sir.
Okay. Gracias.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. State your name, please.
Gianfranco Basigalupo.
Gianfranco Garcia.
Oh, Basigalupo. Basigalupo.
Gianfranco Basigalupo.
All right, sir, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for the offense of battery. It's domestic related in case 22 MM 5678 AO. And we do have someone in the witness box. Ma'am, do you need the services of an interpreter?
Yes, please.
Señora, ¿necesita intérprete?
Sí, por favor.
Yes, please.
Okay, so we're taking the headphones off.
Muy bien, pues quítese los audífonos,
Mr. Basigalupo.
caballero. Señor Basigalupo.
All right, let's place her under oath.
Entonces le vamos a tomar el juramento a la señora.
Can you raise your right hand, please?
Por favor, levante su mano derecha.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, to help you God?
¿Usted jura solemnemente o afirma que el testimonio que va a dar será la verdad, toda la verdad con la ayuda de Dios?
Sí.
Yes.
Please state your name for the record.
Por favor, su nombre.
María Catalina Hines.
María Catalina Hines.
You may put
Puede bajar la mano.
All right. I would just note for the record that defendant does not qualify for the office of the public defender.
Quiero indicar para récord que el acusado no cualifica para la oficina del defensor público.
No te entiendo, perdón.
I'm sorry, I did not understand.
The defendant does not qualify for the appointment of an attorney based on the affidavit for the appointment. He makes too much money.
Que el acusado no califica para que se le nombre un abogado de la oficina del defensor público porque gana demasiado dinero para ese nombramiento.
Okay.
All right, ma'am, I see that you're listed as the victim in this matter. If Mr. Basigalupo is released, do you want to have contact with him or do you want him to stay away from you?
Muy bien, señora, yo veo que usted aparece aquí como la víctima en este caso. Si el señor Basigalupo sale bajo fianza, ¿usted quiere tener contacto con él o prefiere que se mantenga alejado?
Quiero tener contacto con él.
I would like to have contact.
Are you in fear of him?
¿Usted le tiene temor a él?
No, señor.
No, sir.
All right, does the state have any questions for Ms. Hines?
No, Your Honor.
Le pregunto a la fiscalía si tiene alguna pregunta. No hay pregunta.
¿Cuándo sale Gianfranco?
When will Gianfranco be able to get out?
He qualifies for pretrial release. Does the state object to pretrial release?
No, Your Honor, given
Él cualifica para ser liberado con las condiciones de la oficina de antelación a juicio. ¿La fiscalía tiene alguna objeción?
No, Your Honor, no objection given the victim's testimony.
No, su señoría, no tenemos objeción dado el testimonio de la víctima.
All right, sir, I'm going to release you on pretrial release.
Muy bien, caballero, yo lo voy a liberar bajo las condiciones de la oficina de antelación al juicio,
With the following conditions. One,
que son las siguientes condiciones.
you have no hostile contact with Ms. Hines,
Primero, que no puede tener contacto hostil con la señora Hines.
that you consume no alcohol or illegal drugs,
Usted no puede consumir nada de droga ni alcohol.
and that you be subject to random alcohol and drug testing.
Y tiene que someterse a pruebas al azar de drogas y de alcohol.
All right, good luck. Thank you.
Así que buena suerte.
Gracias.
Muchas gracias, señora.
We're done.
Puede retirar, señora.
Gracias.
Good morning, ma'am. Your name, please?
Vanessa Hernández.
Vanessa Hernández.
Ms. Hernandez, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for the offense of battery. This is case 22 MM 5696 AO. I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. State, you have a position on bond?
Your Honor, just a reasonable bond given that she has no other criminal history.
All right, defense?
I would ask the same, Your Honor.
I'll set the bond at $500. I am going to order that you have no contact with Michael Couch, that you maintain a separate residence from him. If he is residing at the Falcon Pine Boulevard apartment, you're going to have to live somewhere else. You can return one time with law enforcement to get your personal belongings. You're not to go back there alone. You're not to have contact with him. Good luck, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Your name, please?
Ricky. Ricky Walter Lopez Mejia.
Ricky Walter López Mejías.
All right, Mr. Mejias, you're here for initial appearance. This is case 22 MM 5705. Okay. Ma'am, do you need Spanish interpreter?
Señora, ¿necesita intérprete español?
Sí, español.
Yes, Spanish, please.
Okay, all right, so they're taking the headphones off. All right, Mr. Mejias, you're here for initial appearance.
Señor López Mejía, usted está aquí para una comparecencia inicial.
You've been arrested for the offenses of battery and resisting an officer without violence.
Usted está aquí arrestado por un delito de agresión y resistir a un oficial sin violencia.
I'm going to appoint the office of the public defender to represent you.
Le estoy nombrando a la oficina del defensor público para que lo represente.
And let's place the witness under oath.
y le vamos a tomar el juramento a la testigo.
Can you raise your right hand, please?
Por favor, levante su mano derecha.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
¿Usted jura solemnemente o afirma que el testimonio que va a dar será la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad con la ayuda de Dios? Yes.
State your name for the record, please.
Por favor, su nombre para récord.
Silvia Noemí López de León.
Lidia Noemí López de León. Puede bajar la mano.
Ma'am, if Mr. Mejias is released, do you want to have contact with him, or do you want him to stay away from you?
Si el señor López Mejías es liberado bajo fianza, ¿usted quiere mantener contacto con él o prefiere que él se mantenga alejado?
No, quiero contacto con él porque es mi hijo.
No, I want to have contact with him because he's my son.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right, does the state object to pretrial release?
¿La fiscalía tiene alguna objeción a que sea liberado con las condiciones de la oficina de antelación a juicio?
No, Your Honor, we just asked for RUA as well.
No, su señoría, vamos a pedir eso también.
The defense, do you have a position?
¿La defensa tiene alguna posición?
I would ask for pretrial release, Your Honor.
Vamos a pedir que sea liberado bajo las condiciones.
All right. Mr. Mejias, I will release you on pretrial release with the following conditions.
Muy bien, señor López Mejía, lo vamos a liberar con las condiciones de la oficina de antelación a juicio, que son las siguientes condiciones.
One, that you have no hostile contact with your mother.
Número uno, que no tenga contacto hostil con su madre.
That you consume no alcohol or illegal drugs.
No puede consumir alcohol ni ninguna droga ilegal.
And that you be subject to random urinalysis while on pretrial release.
Y mientras esté en libertad anterior a juicio, tiene que dejarse someter a pruebas de análisis de orina para drogas o alcohol.
Good luck. Thank you, ma'am.
Así que buena suerte. Y muchas gracias, señora. Eso es todo.
Gracias, muy amable.
Thank you, sir. You're very kind.
Good morning, sir. State your name, please.
Buenos días, señor. Su nombre, por favor. Nombre.
Marvin Daniel Miranda López.
¿Cómo? Perdóname.
Marvin Daniel Miranda López.
Marvin Daniel Miranda López.
Sí.
Sir, you're here for initial appearance.
Usted está aquí para una comparecencia inicial.
Case 22 MM 365 AA. You have been arrested for the offense of battery. It's domestic related.
Ajá, sí, la escucho.
I'm going to
Sí, le
appoint the
escucho.
Office of the Public Defender to represent you. State, you have a position on bond?
Your Honor, we just asked for a reasonable bond.
No, no tengo nada.
I do believe that he's potentially an illegal alien, so we just asked that you take that into account.
Defense, do you have a position on bond?
I just asked for a reasonable bond, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to set the bond
Okay.
at $500. Sir, I'm going to order that you have no contact with your, appears to be your wife,
Okay.
that you maintain a separate residence from her. If she's living in the mainline
Okay.
village, that mainline village address, you're going to have to live somewhere else. You can return there
Okay.
one time with law enforcement escorting you to get your personal belongings. You're not to go back there alone. You're not to have contact with her. No alcohol, illegal drugs, possess no weapons or firearms.
Your Honor, I do believe there are 2 counts of battery.
Okay.
It's the,
I only see one incident though, Your Honor. So it was also from ROR.
I'll ROR on count two. Good luck, sir.
Okay.
Your Honor, may the interpreter have that case number again? There was a noise on the line.
I apologize. That's 22 MM 365 AA.
365, thank you.
All right, Mr. Interpreter, if you could just make an announcement if anybody in the gallery needs services of an interpreter.
Yes, sir. ¿Hay alguien más en el público que necesite traducción a español y vaya a ser testigo? Por favor, levante la mano.
No hands up. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm sorry, Your Honor, I don't have your name.
This is Judge Duckworth.
Duckworth. Okay, thank you very much, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You too. And we've got Mr. Langendifer. If I'm saying that right? All right. All right, good morning, sir. Could you state your name, please? All right, sir, you're here. You've been arrested on a Brevard County warrant for a violation of probation regarding, it looks like a DUI. Bond has been set at $5,000. So if you're able to, you can post bond here in Orange County, and they'll release you from Orange County, and you'll get dates for your Brevard County case. Otherwise, they'll notify Brevard County that you're here, and they'll come get you within 24 hours. Okay, good luck.
I have Stephen Miller next.
Say misdemeanor table or misdemeanor DV?
All right, good morning, sir. Your name, please?
Steve Miller.
All right, Mr. Miller, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for a battery that's domestic related. And we also, could we swear in the witness?
Can you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear in the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name for the record.
My name is Andrea Holub. Your Honor, may let me know when I may speak.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a couple questions.
Of course.
Into the state and so let me ask Mr. Miller first. Mr. Miller, do you want the court to consider appointing you an attorney to represent you in this case, or are you going to hire an attorney?
I'm probably gonna hire an attorney.
Okay, all right. All right, so back to Miss Holub. If Mr. Miller, on this charge, he is entitled to a bond. So what I need to determine is reasonable conditions of release.
Yes.
If he's released, do you want to have contact with him, or do you want him to stay away from you?
This man is my fiance, and we have a 1-year-old where our family's been in enormous stress in a time of transition. I would request, but respectfully, no hostile contact.
Okay.
We do have, he has work that he's missing today. He also owns an additional company.
Well, let's
Yes, sir?
just to set a fact. I understand the financial burden, missing work.
And, oh, I'm sorry.
More concerning to the court is I'm looking at you and I obviously see significant bruising.
Yes, sir, may I?
That's what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about what conditions can he be released on that would best assure continued safety.
Absolutely. This is an intelligent man who absolutely can, and I believe in the nights that he's already been here, have probably learned from mistakes.
Right.
I have anemia and low blood pressure naturally, so my bruising, it really does look bad. It looks worse than it is.
Okay.
But I would sincerely it would be absolutely devastating to not be able to have contact with him and to not be able to try to heal and just have as normal as possible life. Maintaining separate residences is kind of impossible. I have no other family, and I do not believe at all that
I
if
understand
released and
today,
we-
today's not the trial.
I understand.
So
I'm just
state-
requesting
do
no
you have-
hostile contact and that he can return.
Okay.
And drug testing, alcohol testing, those types of things, if you need to put something like that in place as part of this, I understand. And if I feel in fear or danger at all, any moment, I will remove myself from that. And, but I do not believe that that would be a problem. And I hope you could agree with that.
Okay. State, do you have any questions?
No,
The witness?
no, Your Honor.
No? Okay. All right. State, do you have an objection to, it looks like he qualifies for pretrial release?
Your Honor, state has no objection to pretrial release and will leave contact within your discretion. I understand the victim's testimony here today, however, state does still share some concern. However, I'll leave it within your discretion, given the victim testified that she does want contact with Mr. Miller.
All right, sir, I'm going to release you on pretrial release with the condition that you have no hostile contact. No hostile contact certainly means no touching of any kind in a hostile way, no verbal argument. If there's an argument, if you get upset, you need to walk the other way. I'm going to order that you possess no weapons or firearms and that you consume no alcohol or illegal drugs. Okay? All right, thank you.
Will they tell me how to handle bonds and all?
I'm going to release him on pretrial release, so he's not going to have to post a monetary bond, but he's going to have to be processed through pretrial release.
Yes, sir.
And they'll probably want to talk to you also.
Will I be notified of that, sir?
Just if you want to hang out, I don't know. You know how long the process would. Yeah, they'll contact you. Pretrial release will contact you.
So it's today?
He'll be released today.
I just didn't know to tell his
I
boss.
can't-
Thank you,
I
sir.
can't tell you what time.
Of course, thank you.
Montilla is medical, Your Honor?
Medical, okay.
And I will waive, Your Honor.
Okay, so I need the rest of my affidavits. There we go. Thank you. All right. So on this case, Mr. Dugarte Montilla, I'll appoint the public defender. Stay the bond at $500. Order no return to the scene.
Could we also, since he's been, looks like he hasn't been able to be screened for pretrial release, he has? Oh, okay, got it.
Bond is stayed at $500. No return to the scene. All right, good morning, sir. Your name, please?
Kevin Holmes.
Mr. Holmes, you're here for initial appearance. Okay. The note I have is, this is just to address the out-on bonds. Okay, so the bonds were previously stayed on the new count of the possession of MDMA or award on a couple counts. Bond on count 3 was stayed and count 4 was reduced to $100. Okay, what's the state's position as to the out-on bonds?
Your Honor, I was not here. It was another ASA. However, it was my understanding from previous notes that the judge over the weekend wanted him either revoked or the warrant served. So due to him being out on bond and picking up a new law, state would ask that you revoke it this time.
Yeah, I'm going to revoke the bonds in 21 CF 9800 AO and 2021 CF 14366 AO based on the new arrest and the probable cause determination in that case. So what'll happen is, so I've revoked the bonds. Appears you've got attorneys in those cases. They can apply back to the court for bonds in those cases, but I've revoked the bonds.
I got no bond.
You got a bond on the new case. On the two cases that you were out on, those releases have been revoked, they're set at none. So you can go back to the judge, and it appears it's two separate divisions, go back to the judge in those divisions and ask for bonds again.
Your Honor, I just saw in our system on 21 CF 9800AO, they served the warrant. So do you want to take no action on the item more?
If they served a warrant for a failure to appear,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm concerned the failure to appear, he may have been in jail. Did I miss that? Or was he not in
I believe
jail?
the out on bond, that was the confusion because it looks like he had FTA warrants to be served.
Yeah.
It was gonna be set at no bond anyway from the attorney, so.
I'll leave it at no bond.
You want to revoke?
Yeah, I'll revoke it, I'll leave it at no bond, and then the judge and the division can sort that out.
So we're revoking both.
Yes.
Just set it, thank you. I don't have it yet. You don't have to sign. I will waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender. Looks like they're appointed. State, do you have a position on the bond?
Your Honor, I believe this was a PC reset for the stalking, assault, resisting without case.
Yes.
I'm not really sure why, because it was a warrant. Would you like to see the warrant, Your Honor?
I've got the warrants attached, so the PC's already been found in the warrant.
Your Honor, state would just ask for reasonable bond taking into account Ms. King's criminal history and the allegations within the affidavit. In both this case and the Fling and Lieutenant Jolu case, state's concerned regarding the victim's safety as well as the community safety, given that she's also out on bond for a reckless display of a firearm. State's concerned regarding.
Oh, I don't have an out on bond on this.
No, I think they were all heard, except for that one.
I have an out on bond of a reckless display. Hold on.
They previously revoked it.
Okay.
Oh, it has been revoked already? Yeah, Your Honor, I believe there just needs to be bond set on the new law.
Okay. So, defense, what's your position on bond?
I would just ask for a reasonable bond. I don't see any other criminal history on my form, Your Honor.
Okay. I read the affidavit. I'm a little concerned about the allegations. I'll set the bond on the stalking at $5,000, the assault at $150, and the resisting will be stated at $150. Order absolutely no contact with the victim, possess no weapons or firearms. It appears they already maintain separate residence, so. Yeah.
Our state would just ask for a no return to the victim's residence.
No contact, no return to victim's residence. Good morning, sir. Your name, please? Mr. Nelson, you're here for initial appearance. You were arrested for disorderly conduct.
And Your Honor, the offer from the state was a withhold of adjudication, credit time served, and court costs. Mr. Nelson would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest.
All right, so I'll be handing a plea form indicating you wish to plead no contest to the offense of disorderly conduct. It'd be a withhold of adjudication, credit for the 3 days that you served in jail. I'll give you time to get the cost paid. That'll resolve this case, and you'll be released as to this today. Is that what you want?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm holding up the plea form. It has your name at the top. Is that your signature at the bottom?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a chance to read, review, and understand the document before you signed it?
Yes, sir.
All right, so that disorderly conduct, second degree, actually, it's a city ordinance violation. How do you plead?
No contest.
I'll accept that. I'll withhold adjudication. I'll give you credit for 3 days, impose the cost. I'll give you 350 days to get the cost paid. You have 30 days to appeal. Good luck. No. Yeah, no. Good morning, sir. Your name, please?
Jared Hamilton.
Mr. Hamilton, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for a false imprisonment and battery. Are you asking the court to appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter, or are you going to hire an attorney?
Most likely a higher attorney, sir.
Hire an attorney, okay. All right, State, do you have a position on bond?
And he qualifies for PTR, state has no objection.
All right. All right, sir, I'll release you on pretrial release with the following conditions: that you have absolutely no contact with Charisma
Yes, sir.
Mitchell,
Yes, sir.
that you maintain a separate residence from her. So if she's living at that View Apartments address, you're gonna have to live somewhere else. Now, you can return there once with law enforcement, get your personal belongings, but you're not to go back there alone. You're not to have any contact with her. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Good luck, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And no. All right, good morning, sir. Your name, please?
Aaron McKenzie.
Mr. McKenzie, you're here for initial appearance in two matters. The first matter is for, this is case 2018 CF 4044AO, an arrest pursuant to a warrant for a violation of probation. Allegations that you violated, you're on probation for aggravated stalking and false imprisonment. Allegations that you violated are that you committed new offense, a violation of an injunction. That's out of Hillsborough County. You've also been arrested in a second case, and on the violation of probation, the bond set at none. The new case,
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes.
In regards to bond, Mr. McKenzie currently has a 2022 non-arrest bat DV, bat by strangulation DV against a different victim. He has a 2021 violation of a domestic injunction, a 2018 stalking, dating violence that was, I believe, closed due to, it was consolidated into another 2018 ag stalking, false imprisonment, bat DV. And I believe all those were the same victim. And it was a plea of no contest, and I believe he was adjudicated on the false imprisonment, ag stalking, credible threat, battery, which was again from 2018.
okay. All right, Mr. McKenzie, you've also been arrested pursuant to an Orange County warrant for aggravated stalking after an injunction. And State told me about some history. State, do you have a position on bond in that case?
Your Honor, he is entitled to a bond due to the nature of the charge, and I believe it is an F3. However, State's concerned regarding the victim safety, as it seems to be an ongoing issue over multiple years. And the allegations within this last affidavit, I believe, is trying to obtain her address. So State's concerned regarding the victim safety if he were to actually obtain that address. So State would just ask a bond, taking into account all of those things.
Mr. McKenzie, do you want me to appoint an attorney to represent you in this case, or you want to hire an attorney? You're going to hire an attorney, okay. All right, so on the violation of probation, the bond will be stayed at none. On the new case, the aggravated stalking after an injunction, I'm going to set that bond at $25,000 with conditions absolutely no contact with the victim. That's either direct or indirect, in person or over the phone or through the internet. All right, good luck, sir. All right, we'll reset excuse me, that's Miss McMillan.
Your Honor, I'm okay with waiving the appearance if you appoint.
Okay. All right, on McMillan, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender. State, do you have a position on bond?
There are just reasonable conditions.
All right, I see the relationship as sisters. I'll set the, yeah, no history. I'll set the bond at $1,500. I'm going to order no contact with the victim, maintain separate residence, one-time return with law enforcement, possess no weapons or firearms.
Your Honor, there's a second count, the Bat TV.
Oh, on the battery, I'll set the bond at $500, same conditions.
And was there no weapons?
Yes.
Thank you.
Coming up, sir?
No, stop.
All right, good morning, sir. Your name, please?
Dennis Pagan.
All right, Mr. Pagan, you're here for initial appearance. Been arrested for new offenses of battery by strangulation and battery on a person 65 years of age or older. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in that case. And you're out on bond currently for DUI manslaughter. So, and looks like you have a private attorney in that case. Let's swear in the witnesses.
Can you raise your right hands, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimonies you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your names for the record.
Miguel Pagan Jr.
And your name, ma'am?
Jenny Pagan.
Okay. Are you Dennis Pagan's mother and father?
Yes.
All right. I see, Mr. Pagan, you are listed as the victim. If your son is released, do you want to have contact with him, or do you want him to stay away from you?
No, I don't want to have contact with him at all.
Okay.
But I do.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
I said I do.
You want to have contact with him? Okay. And y'all live together?
Yes.
Okay. All right. State, do you have any questions?
Has anything like this ever happened before?
No.
Mr. Pagan?
Yes, it has. Once before.
Approximately how long ago would you say the last time was?
5 years.
5 years, maybe.
And was it a physical event or verbal?
Confrontation.
Okay. And do you believe drugs or alcohol were involved in this incident?
What?
Do you believe drugs or alcohol were involved in this incident?
No.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Alcohol.
And state what's your position, well, I'm sorry, defense, do you have questions for the,
No questions, Your Honor.
state what's your position on the bond and the out on bond?
Your Honor, State would ask that you set reasonable bonds as to the new law as he is otherwise entitled to them with no contact with the victim, Mr. Pagan. However, State would ask that you revoke his out on bond, given that it is a serious offense, and I believe allegations within the affidavit, whereas the fight was over Dennis Pagan's drinking habits. So State would ask that you revoke at this time, his out on bond.
Defense?
Your Honor, I would ask that if you are inclined to revoke, you revoke in double. I believe the victims just testified that alcohol wasn't involved at that time, and given the limited criminal history, it looks like the only other offense was back in 1998, that you consider that, and consider revoking as opposed to holding him at no bond. He is currently employed.
All right, in the new case on count one, I'm going to set the bond at $1,500. Count two at $1,000. I'm going to order that you have no contact with your father, sir, that you maintain a separate residence, that you consume no alcohol or illegal drugs. I am going to revoke the bond in 21 CF 9426, the DUI manslaughter, and I'll set it at none. So your attorney will have to file the appropriate motion if you want to get a bond back in that division. Okay. So I want y'all to understand, so he has a bond on the new case, but he's ordered to live separately. Or he can't live with you and can't have contact with you, sir. But the bond that he was out on for the DUI manslaughter, I've revoked that bond.
Why?
And it's set at no bond, so you can contact his attorney in that case, and that attorney can apply for a new bond.
But why was it revoked?
I can't hear you, ma'am.
I said, why was it revoked?
You have to speak in front of the microphone.
Why was it revoked?
It was revoked because he got arrested for a new felony. That's why. Yeah, I've revoked it for that reason. All right? All right. Good luck.
Can I see him today?
Excuse me?
Can I see him?
See him in what way?
Where I can have
Could she see him today, Your Honor?
Won't be able to see him.
I don't know how.
No, I don't think so. You can, you can go to the video visitation center to try to set up an appointment, but I don't think you'll be able to see him today.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good luck. No. All right, good morning, sir. Your name, please?
Michael Villard.
Mr. Villard, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for a battery by strangulation. It's domestic related. You've got a second case, which is an out-of-county warrant. And it appears that's the same twice. Okay, so so let's, I'm going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Let's deal with the out-of-county warrant first. So you were arrested on an out-of-county warrant out of Seminole County. The bond is set at $20,000. Okay, let me ask the state. State, do you agree he's entitled to a bond on the new case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'm going to hear what the witness has to say, and I'm going to set a bond in the new case. But on the Seminole County case, the bond is set at $20,000. So if you're able to, you can bond out here in Orange County. Otherwise, they'll notify Seminole County. And after you've bonded or been released, theoretically, when you're going to be released from Orange County, then Seminole will come get you within 24 hours. So let's talk about the new offense or new allegation of battery by strangulation. Let's swear in the witness.
Yes. Katrina Spencer.
All right, Ms. Spencer, if Mr. Villard is released, do you want to have contact with him, or do you want him to stay away from you?
No.
No contact? Okay. All right, do you all reside together?
Yes.
Okay. All right, State, do you have any questions for Ms. Spencer?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, defense, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. State, do you have a position on bond?
Your Honor, state would just ask that you take into account, he has at least 4 prior VOPs, and it seems like a pretty lengthy criminal history that involve the charges that he's here for today. He's here for a battery and a drug-related out-of-county, and his history seems to be littered with other batteries and drug-related offenses. I believe there was also a prior violation of a PTR condition. So state would just ask that you take all that into account when setting his bond.
Defense?
I just ask that you consider the fact that the last criminal offense was back in 2018.
All right, after reviewing the affidavit, I'm going to set the bond on the battery by strangulation at $2,500. I'm going to order that you have absolutely no contact with Katrina Spencer, that you maintain a separate residence from her. If you're released, you can return to the residence one time to get personal belongings, but you're not to go back there alone. You have to go with law enforcement. You're not to possess weapons or firearms, consume alcohol or illegal drugs. Okay. All right, good luck, man.
Can I ask for him to sign release for my car keys and my daughter's school clothes money he had in his wallet?
I don't know that I can order him to do that.
I'm sorry, I missed.
She wants car keys released and
My
something-
daughter's school clothes money he had in his wallet.
and there was money for the for school clothes. I don't know. I don't have the authority to order him to do that.
Okay.
So that's something I've appointed an attorney to represent him, the Office of the Public Defender. So I understand the concern, but I don't know that I've got the legal authority to order him to do that. I can set a bond and conditions of release. I don't know that I can order him to release things out of property. So that's, you've got an attorney, and if you choose to do that, you can do that. So,
Thank you, Your Honor.
all right, good luck, ma'am. Mental health?
I will waive the appearance, Your Honor. She doesn't have a victim.
I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender. Want to make sure, ma'am, you're not here on Shayna Adele? Okay, different, the next gentleman, okay.
Okay.
I'll appoint the Public Defender. State you have a position on bond on,
Your Honor, state would just ask for a reasonable bond, taking into account that she is a multi-state offender with other violent arrests and convictions.
all right, defense?
Just a reasonable bond, Your Honor.
Okay.
It's,
I'll state the bond at $500 on count one, and $100 on count two. Order no contact with Benjamin Cadell, victim. Maintain a separate residence. One-time return. Possess no weapons or firearms. No alcohol or illegal drugs.
Mr. Wallace, one, behavior.
and I will waive the appearance, Your Honor.
Mr. Ballast, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender. And he's got two, looks like a DV battery and then a resisting. State, do you have a position on bond on the battery?
Just reasonable bonds on both, Your Honor.
Defense?
The same, Your Honor.
All right. I'll set the bond at $500 on the DV battery. On the resisting, that's subsidiary, I'll reduce that to 100. Order no contact with the victim. Maintain a separate residence. One-time return. No weapons, firearms, no alcohol or illegal drugs.
Sorry.
What was the reason Mr. Ballas wasn't present? Behavior, thank you. Okay. All right, good morning, sir. Your name, please?
Scott Dew.
Mr. Dew, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for a battery. It's domestic related. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you, and could we swear in the witness, please?
Can you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yeah.
Please state your name for the record.
Amanda, too.
All right, ma'am, if Mr. Dew is released, do you want to have contact with him, or do you want him to stay away from you?
Nonviolent, yes.
I'm sorry, it's difficult to hear
He's
you.
my husband, I do.
Okay, notwithstanding the fact he's your husband, do you want to have
Nonviolent,
contact or no
yes.
contact?
Yes.
Okay, I need you to say, because you're answering before I'm finishing.
I'm sorry.
Do you want contact, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. All right. State, do you have any questions for Ms. Dew?
Has anything like this ever happened before?
When drinking's involved, yes. Drinking. Yeah.
There's been
And his
prior-
mom just passed away, like.
Okay, my question is, has this happened before?
With drinking, yes.
Has a physical event between the two of you happened before?
Yes.
Approximately how long ago would you say?
A couple years.
Okay, that's all I have, Your Honor.
Defense, do you have any questions?
No questions, Your Honor.
Your Honor, there was a prior 2020 BAT DV with the same defendant and victim here in Orange County, and I'm unsure regarding Allen County, but here in Orange, there was a 2020 BAT DV.
Okay, and it looks like he may qualify for pretrial release?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you think he does now?
Yes, it cleared. He does.
State, do you have an objection to pretrial release?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Dew, I'm going to release you on pretrial release, and that's in lieu of posting a monetary bond with the condition that you have no hostile contact with your wife, that you consume no alcohol or illegal drugs. Okay, all right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, straight pretrial release. Morning, sir. Your name, please?
My name is Juan Falero.
Mr. Falero, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for a battery. It's, okay. Do you want me to appoint the public defender in this case, or are you going to hire an attorney, sir?
I'll take a public defender for now.
Did you fill out an application for the appointment of the public defender?
Yes, I did.
Okay. All right, you just didn't make it to me. Are you currently working?
Yes.
What's your approximate take-home pay per month?
I would say like 1,600 every 2 weeks. So.
Okay, I'll appoint the public defender. State, you have a position on bond?
Just a reasonable bond, Your Honor.
All right, defense?
Same, Your Honor.
I'll set the bond at $500. I am going to order that you have no contact with the victim.
With my wife?
If that's who the victim is. Nomi Chalju, if I'm saying that right?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. But if she's not here to say that she doesn't want no contact, how can there be no contact?
She has to say she.
If the court's ordering you no contact, then it's no contact.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm ordering no contact. I'm going to order that you maintain a separate residence. So if she's residing at that Poinciana address, you're going to have to live somewhere else.
Yeah, that's fine.
You can return there one time with law enforcement escorting you to get the personal belongings. Otherwise, you're not to return to the scene or have contact with her.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good luck. Good morning, sir. Your name, please?
Jawan Gordon.
Mr. Gordon, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for a battery. It's domestic related. I'm going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. State, you have a position on bond.
So what, sir?
I'm asking the state.
Just a reasonable bond, Your Honor. However, he also does qualify for PTR.
Defense?
I would just ask for pretrial release, Your Honor, given I don't see any convictions on his history.
All right, Mr. Gordon, I'm going to release you on pretrial release with the condition that you have no contact with Gakara Thomas, that you maintain a separate residence from her. So if she's residing at that Sassafras Court address, you're going to have to live somewhere else if that's where she's living. If she's not living there, that's fine. But if that's where she lives, you have to live separately from her. And if she's residing there, I'll allow you to return one time with law enforcement to get your personal belongings. Okay, good luck, sir. Morning, sir. Your name, please?
Prentice Jackson, sir.
Mr. Jackson, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for a battery. It's domestic related. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. State, do you have a position on bond?
Just a reasonable bond, Your Honor.
Okay, defense?
Same, Your Honor.
I'll set the bond at $500. I'm going to order that you have no contact. It appears to be your uncle, Stanley Howard. Maintain a separate residence. If you are sharing a residence, you can return one time to get personal belongings. Otherwise, you're not to have contact with Mr. Howard, and you're to possess no weapons or firearms.
Yes, sir.
Good luck. Morning, sir. Your name, please?
Jason Genty.
Mr. Genty, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for a battery. State, I'm sorry. I am going to appoint the office of the public defender. State, you have a position on bond?
Your Honor, I believe he qualifies for PTR. State has no objection.
Defense?
And I would just ask for pretrial release.
All right. On the, I'll release you on pretrial release with the following condition, that you have no contact with your son, Jason E. Genty, that you maintain a separate residence from him. So if he's living at that higher circle address, you're going to have to reside somewhere else. You can return there one time to get personal belongings, but you have to be escorted by law enforcement. You're not to go back there alone, not to have contact with him. All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Morning, your name, please?
John Claude Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for battery. It's domestic related. We've got a witness. Can we swear in the witness, please?
Yes. This is Amber Foster.
All right, I am going to appoint the public defender in this case. Okay. All right, Ms. Foster, I see you're listed as the victim in this matter. If Mr. Johnson's released, do you want to have contact with him, or do you want him to stay away from you?
No, I want to have contact.
It's difficult to hear you with the mask on. I'm sorry.
I said, yes, I want to have contact.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right, State, do you have any questions for Ms. Foster?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
State, do you have an objection to pretrial release?
No objection.
Defense?
No, Your Honor. Okay.
All right, Mr. Johnson, I'll release you on pretrial release with the condition that you have no hostile contact with Ms. Foster. Get into an argument, you need to just turn and walk the other way, okay? Certainly no laying hands on her, no touching in an angry or hostile way. All right, possess no weapons or firearms. All right, good luck. Thank you, ma'am. Morning, sir. Your name, please?
Hello, how you doing?
Good morning. What's your name, please?
Miguel Lopez.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez. You're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for a battery that's domestic related. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. State, you have a position on bond.
State has no objection to PTR, Your Honor.
Okay, defense.
I believe we have a victim.
And I would ask for pretrial release, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Let's swear in the witness, please.
Yes.
Okay.
Gabriel Rivera.
Sir, what's your relationship to Miguel Lopez?
My brother.
Okay. All right, if he's released, do you want to have contact with him, or do you want him to stay away from you?
I'll have contact.
All right, State, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Lopez, I'll release you on pretrial release with the following condition. You have no hostile contact with your brother.
Mhm.
Okay? So the things that I'm reading in the affidavit, those are things you can't say. Those are considered hostile.
Right.
Okay? So if you're upset with him, you need to turn around and walk the other way. Certainly nothing that leads to physical altercation, okay?
I understand.
All right, thank you, sir.
I have a question. How long would it be for him to be released today?
He'll be released today, sometime, I can't, I don't know.
Oh, you can't predict it? Okay.
Yeah,
Well, thank you.
I'm sure it'll be after lunch, for sure. Just no hostile contact. Morning, sir, your name, please?
Kevin Lucky.
Mr. Lucky, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for domestic violence battery. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. State, do you have a position on bond?
Just a reasonable bond, Your Honor. I do believe he qualifies for PTR.
He doesn't, it was updated.
No?
It was updated, no.
I was gonna ask that he not, but okay.
Okay. All right, Defense, do you have a position on bond?
Your Honor, I would just ask for a $500 bond in this case, given the victim did refuse to fill out the paperwork and stated they are not going forward.
All right, I'll set the bond at $500. I'm going to order that you have no hostile contact with the victim.
Your Honor, the victim's not here, so state would ask for a no contact.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's correct. It'll be order no contact whatsoever, and you're to maintain a separate residence. So if the victim, Carlsbird, if they're living at that Lakeway Branch Drive address, you're going to have to live somewhere else. You can return there one time with law enforcement. You're not to go back there alone. You're not to have contact with the victim. Possess no weapons or firearms. All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
Morning. Your name, sir?
My name is Ivan Osorio.
Mr. Osorio, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for a battery. It's domestic related. Going to appoint the public defender to represent you. State, you have a position on bond.
I actually called a lawyer, but he couldn't come.
Okay. Well, we can do one of two things. We can reset you. You can stay overnight until tomorrow, or I can set a bond with reasonable conditions today.
That would be better.
Which option, one or two? The bond. Okay. All right.
Your Honor, state would just ask for a reasonable bond, take into account that the victim did end up in the hospital.
So, Mr. Osorio, I want to make sure, do you want me to appoint the Office of the Public Defender in this case?
Well, the victim that,
Hold on. Well, let's,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
today's not the trial, and you have the right to remain silent about the facts and circumstances of the case. The victim's not here. So what I need to know is, if you want me to appoint the public defender based on the affidavit that you've sworn to, you qualify, I'll appoint the public defender. If you don't want me to appoint the public defender and you want to consider hiring an attorney, that's fine too. Neither one of those options changes the fact that we are going to set a bond and conditions of release today. So do you want me to appoint an attorney or not? Yes, okay.
Yes.
All right, I'll appoint the public defender. State, what's your position on bond? I'm sorry.
Your Honor, state would just ask for a bond, taking into account that the victim did end up in the hospital. I believe there was a laceration on their head, so arguably this could have been charged as a felony, given the injury sustained by the victim. So just ask that you take that into account when setting a bond for Mr. Osorio.
Defense?
I just ask that you consider, I don't see any criminal history, Your Honor, so I would ask that you consider that one, setting the bond.
All right, after reviewing the affidavit, I'm going to set the bond at $1,000. I am going to order that you have no contact with what appears to be your son, William. You're to maintain a separate residence from him. So if he is residing at the same address, you're going to have to live somewhere else. You can return there one time with law enforcement to get your personal belongings, but you're not to reside with with William. Okay, and I'm going to order that you not consume any alcohol or illegal drugs while this matter is pending.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Judge, I missed the bond amount.
1,000.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Morning, sir. Your name, please?
Good morning, sir. My name is Eric Williams.
All right, Mr. Williams, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for a battery. It's domestic related. Going to appoint the public defender to represent you. And let's swear in the witness.
Yes, ma'am. Jimmy Williams.
All right, ma'am, if Mr. Williams is released, do you want to have contact with him or do you want him to stay away from you?
Contact is fine, sir.
All right, State, do you have any questions for Ms. Williams?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Defense, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right,
Your Honor, State would just bring your attention, the DCF was called on this one.
all right, sir, you qualify for pretrial release. State, you have an objection to that?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Defense?
No, Your Honor.
I'll release you on pretrial release with the conditions that you have no hostile contact with Ms. Williams, that you consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, possess no weapons or firearms. It appears the Department of Children and Families was contacted because of the child, and that you just cooperate with any investigation.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, he can return to Washington, correct?
The court has no objection to you. Will that, are you able to still to do pretrial release?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
all right.
no problem.
So, yeah, the court has no objection to you traveling or returning home as a condition of the pretrial release. You just have to keep in touch with pretrial release.
Yes.
All right, all right, thank you, ma'am.
Sir.
Worrell?
I will waive, Your Honor, the appearance.
I'll appoint the public defender. State, you have a position on bond?
Your Honor, State would just ask for a reasonable bond. Take into account, I do believe he is on probation, so I'm assuming that will be coming through shortly.
All right, Defense?
Just a reasonable bond, Your Honor.
I believe he also has 2 prior DV arrests with the same victim. One as recent as 2022.
Got some failure to appears. I'm going to set the bond at $1,000. I'm going to order no contact with the victim, Mikey Romulus. No contact, separate residence, one-time return with law enforcement. Okay. Right, Dave? We'll reset, Wright Davis. It's out on bond, so, okay, we'll reset that. Yeah, we already picked, I guess we picked that one up already. Grice is medical. Okay. All right. Well, he is Seminole County warrant, so we'll go ahead and waive so they can contact Seminole County, maybe get them moving.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, good morning, sir. Your name, please? Mr. Dotson, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for a violation of probation We're on probation for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Allegations that you violated are that you failed to report, it's back in June, that you changed your residence without permission, current whereabouts unknown, bond's been set at none. Okay, I'll appoint the public defender and stay the bond at none. Good luck, sir. Okay, we'll reset him.
Guilty.
I will waive the appearance, Your Honor.
On Thompson, I'll appoint the public defender. 2 violations of probation warrants, both are no bond, we'll stay him at no bond.
I will waive the appearance, Your Honor.
On Dalby, I'll appoint the public defender, it's a VOP on a DUI, it's a no bond warrant, and that'll be stayed. Okay. Sadie, are you ready on 33-day motions?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, the first one I have is Tavon Antonio Ashmead, 22 CF 8472.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Next is Dustin Dale Donahue, 22 CF 8184.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Be granted. Next is Algie Lamont Alexander, 22 CF 8504.
Denied, and information was filed.
Denied. Next is Robins Lorden, 22 CF 7674.
Denied, and information was filed.
That'll be denied. Next is 22 CF 8479. Hubert Andy Herrera Guerra.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
That'll be granted. Next is 22 CF 8393. Nathaniel Donnell.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
That'll be granted. Next is 22 CF 8326. Lindell Johnson.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Granted. We've got 22 CF 5951. Armando Torres Sanchez.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Granted. We've got 22 CF 8463. Charles Wesley Hendry.
Denied, and information was filed.
Information was filed. Next is Kenneth Lee Davis Jr., 22 CF 8462.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Granted. 22 CF 8375. Andrew Ernest Brooks.
Denied, and information was filed.
It was filed. That'll be denied. 22 CF 8313. Matthew Byers.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Granted. 22 CF 8379. Michael Jerome Nelson.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Granted. Okay. And how much of a break do y'all need before we start the next session?
Your Honor, state's ready.
Yeah. So we'll start at 11:30.
Rebecca, you have everything for me?
Yeah, I have everything.
Okay. That one we missed. Don't worry about that. That was the one that not that other one before. Oh. Okay.
Did the new kid Kirby start a job? New kid start a job yet?
Okay, you good? We're gonna go to the next one. I know. Huh? Did your nephew get his no, no, your that's a Seminole County. I ain't. They the one that announced it. Mr. Gordon, Bryce wasn't here because that's the out of county dude. Just sheet out because I got 2 more. Thank you. So that was medical, waived the hearing, the bond was paid on that. Wright Davis was mental health, right? I was up here making up stuff because I was. It was mental health? Oh, I guess that's all I didn't get. Okay, I'm good, thank you. You been here and you didn't come speak or see nobody?
No, because I've been busy picking up people for the court and everything.
But on the weekends, you wanna come find us? It's
You
okay.
know, some expert, for the guys, making sure people be up here.
You don't have to make
You guys said you want to do it.
No, Judge Duckworth and
Now he's.
corrections.
Don't tell me now that he took an hour for hour now.
I asked for it. I'm sorry, that was too much for y'all? No, I just wanna give Shamar a chance to breathe and then flow back.
You know what's gonna be our work. You're always gonna be there.
All
One.
right. Yeah, when I come to work.
You are my number one. If you're not here, I have to take whatever. I have to have.
What? You gotta be here?
No, I'm saying when you're not here, I have to get that one.
Oh, and funny. She don't mean no harm.
I know she's just funny when you ask her and she go do like that.
She's just funny.
I know. Oh, you don't know.
Just saying Gordon. She'll tell.
So guess what?
Right, Mr. Gordon?
So when you come here, this is what I do. Hey, this is what we're gonna do. When you come here, when you work here, I tell her what I'm gonna do.
Who?
Yeah, because you ask her what you wanna do, and the answer is like, no. That's how I said, okay, we're gonna do move over this. Okay,
She just start switching up the list on it. She gonna get mad at you.
You don't know what you wanna do, so then I tell you how I'm gonna do it then.
Oh. Y'all the boss. Y'all run the courtroom.
What Misty say too?
Oh gosh. Yeah. She doing good. She don't miss this place.
I see
She miss y'all, but she don't miss this place. Yeah. Who? Nate off. Nate off. Why you laughing?
Nate Dogg was a trip. He came back in there talking about, he called me Nate Dogg.
I think you asked him what did he say? What did he respond? He said, I was like, what up? I was like,
He didn't say what up.
what did he say?
He didn't know who Nate Dogg was.
He did answer. He said he responded.
Nate?
Yeah.
No, he said he did not know who Nate Dogg was. And he
Dennis started playing Nate Dogg on the air.
So then he's like, what up? He said, what up? Because I was laughing when he said, what up?
He was like, McGinnis called him Nate Dogg, and everybody started laughing. He didn't know who Nate Dogg was.
He play all the time. Y'all don't be laughing at McGinnis.
But when he was in there with me, he was saying
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, I could. Thank you. All right, we have had a full morning this morning. So let's let folks in the courtroom get situated.
This guy is with DOC. This is the sheet. How you doing?
State attorney. Yes.
How you doing?
Good.
This is the state attorney's office.
Okay, sure.
This one over the weekend.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I know that one. Okay. Thank you.
All right, we are on the record for first appearances today. The court's morning docket just concluded. So I have not had an opportunity to review these affidavits in advance as I normally would, so I'll be reviewing them as we go. Can I have appearances for the state, please?
Brenna Jones for the state.
What was your name again, ma'am?
Brenna Jones.
Quinones? All right, thank you, Ms. Quinones. And for pretrial release?
Patricia Jenkins, pretrial release.
All right, thank you, Officer Jenkins. And for defense today?
Christina Smith for the public defender.
Ms. Smith, okay, thank you. All right, let me get the interpreter on the line. And the first case we will call up, well, let me get the interpreter.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Laura Bretaña, Spanish interpreter, previously sworn.
Good afternoon. I have first appearances here in courtroom 5F today. I believe we only have one Spanish speaker, but I'll need you to ask if there are any others when we're concluded, please. All right, the first case is Andreas Perez Cruz, 2022 CF 2423. Good afternoon, sir.
Buenas tardes, señor. Good afternoon.
All right, sir, I'm going to provisionally appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
Señor, voy a designar la oficina del abogado de oficio para que les represente provisionalmente.
If you qualify for appointed counsel, I will, or the court will appoint counsel after you complete the required affidavit.
Si usted cumple con los requisitos para que se le designe el abogado una vez, esto se determinará una vez haya usted llenado el affidavit de indigencia y entonces se le designará el abogado para la causa completa.
You can also hire a private lawyer if you wish.
Si usted prefiere, también podría contratar un abogado privado.
You were arrested, sir, for two charges, operating a motor vehicle without a valid license and failing to stop or remain at a crash involving injuries.
Usted fue puesto bajo arresto ante dos acusaciones. La primera, conducir sin licencia válida, y la segunda, no detenerse en la escena de un accidente en la cual hubo lesión a un tercero.
There is probable cause based on the arrest affidavit.
Según el documento acusatorio, existen indicios de criminalidad.
You unfortunately do not qualify for pretrial release.
Usted no cumple con los requisitos para la libertad provisional.
When I say pretrial release, I'm talking about non-monetary pretrial release.
Y cuando hablo de libertad provisional, me refiero a la libertad provisional sin tener que pagar alguna cantidad de dinero.
So your bond will be $500 on count 1 and $2,500 on count 2.
Así que entonces las fianzas que se conceden son $500 en el cargo número 1, $2,500 cargo número 2.
Based on the nature of the charge, I'm not going to require special conditions of bond?
Según la naturaleza de la acusación, no voy a requerir condiciones especiales de la fianza.
If you commit a new law violation while out on bond, that would be a violation.
Si usted presta la fianza y comete un nuevo ilícito mientras se encuentre libre bajo fianza, estaría incumpliendo con la misma.
Ms. Smith, is there anything further we need to address for Mr. Perez Cruz?
Licenciada Smith, ¿hay algo más que tengamos que atender en cuanto al señor Pérez Cruz? No, su señoría.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you, sir.
Gracias, señor.
Madam Interpreter, if you could ask whether anyone else needs your assistance.
¿Alguna de las personas que permanece en la cárcel necesita los servicios del intérprete al español?
No, Your Honor, but if we could bring,
All right, so let the interpreter go. Thank you, Madam Interpreter. We appreciate your help.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What were you asking, Ms. Smith?
one moment, sorry. Can we bring Ashley Jacobs up next?
Why are we taking her out of order?
Mental health issues.
Okay. All right. This is 2022 MM 1895, Ashley Jacobs. All right, Ms. Jacobs, you were arrested for the charge of petty theft. There is probable cause based on the arrest affidavit. You do not qualify for non-monetary pretrial release. Officer Jenkins, what is the other legal constraint?
She have a warrant out of Alabama for failure to appear.
Okay. Ma'am, in this case, your bond is $500. All right, and the special condition of bond will be no return to Walmart at 3250 Vineland Road in Kissimmee. All right, you're entitled to be represented by counsel, and I'm provisionally appointing the Office of the Public Defender to represent you today. You can hire private counsel, or if you qualify, after you complete the required affidavit, counsel will be appointed to represent you. All right, thank you, ma'am. All right, before we go further, let me make a few announcements so that I don't have to repeat myself through this process. My name is Tom Young. I'm a circuit judge in the 9th Judicial Circuit. These are your first appearances. We're here simply to talk about the charge for which you've been arrested, whether there is probable cause for the arrest, and if so, the bond amount if you are eligible for a bond. We're not going to be actually doing anything else on your cases, okay? So let's call up the next case.
Your Honor, I've actually been asked if we can bring Jerry Dorsonville up next for the same reasons.
Okay. Jerry Dorsonville, 22 CF 2422. Hello, Mr. Dorsonville. Let me take a look at your case real quick. All right, Mr. Dorsonville, you were arrested for the charges of burglary of an unoccupied structure, unarmed, and petty theft. There is probable cause for your arrest. Your charge, count one, the bond will be $3,500. Count two will be $500 for a total of $4,000.
Your Honor, my apologies. It is my understanding that he does qualify for direct PTR.
He does not. Yeah, unfortunately, he does not. I will provisionally appoint the Office of the Public Defender. If you qualify, the court will appoint counsel to represent you. You can also hire private counsel. All right. Thank you, Mr. Dorsonville. And let me add that to the list of things that I don't want to have to repeat each time. Unless you have private counsel already, I'm going to provisionally appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you today. That is a given across the board, so I'm not going to announce it on each individual. If you qualify for appointed counsel, the court would appoint counsel after you complete the required affidavit. If you already have private counsel, please let me know that when you come up to the microphone. Otherwise, the court minutes will reflect that the public defender is provisionally appointed as of today. All right, anyone else we need to take care of, Ms. Smith?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so Celeste Bell, this would be 22 CF 1049. That's an Orange County case number. Ms. Bell, you were arrested on a capias issued out of Orange County for your failure to appear in case number 22 CF 5924. So the number I read earlier was the warrant number, not the case number. So the case number is 22 CF 5924. And there is no bond at this time. So you'll be transported to Orange County, and your attorney there will address the matter of bond with the presiding judge. All right, thank you, ma'am. All right, our next case will be Samantha Martin. Case number 21 MM 1784. Good afternoon, Ms. Martin. You were arrested on a violation of probation warrant signed by Judge Epperson. You've been accused of violating the order of probation requiring you to report as directed, pay the cost of supervision, pay court costs and public defender fees, and completing community service. There is no bond on your case. Does Ms. Martin have an upcoming court date?
VOP arraignment, September 1st, 8:05 a.m., courtroom 5B.
All right, so that's your next court date as of this moment, ma'am. Okay, thank you. All right, Austin David Richards, 21 MM 883. Good afternoon, Mr. Richards. Sir, you were arrested on a bench warrant issued by Judge Sanders Morency for failure to appear. She did set a bond in the amount of $5,000. What will be Mr. Richards' next court date?
County rejection, September 9th, 8:15 a.m., courtroom 4A.
September 9th is your next court date. You have the $5,000 bond, sir. Thank you. All right. The next individual is listed as John Doe. 2022 CF 2420.
He has indicated that he would like to be pro se, Your Honor.
Well, we're not doing a Ferretta inquiry today. He can be pro se at another time if he wishes. He does not qualify for non-monetary release. Sir, what's your legal name?
Dayron.
Say it again?
Dayron.
Dayron. Spell that, please.
Dayron.
Okay. What's your last name, Dayron?
I don't have one.
All right. What's listed on your birth certificate? What's the name listed on your birth certificate, sir?
What does it say?
I'm asking you. I don't have your birth
Can't you
certificate.
see? Oh, no, that's my name, Dayron.
All right. Well, you were charged with grand theft auto. Let me take a look at the arrest affidavit. All right, there is probable cause for the charge. State, there is no bond listed on the, what would the state be requesting in terms of bond?
The state would be requesting whatever Your Honor thinks is appropriate due to the lack of information as to his identity. I don't have any criminal history to offer, Your Honor, to give you a better picture. But just in light of the nature of the charges, whatever bond you feel would be appropriate.
All right, I am required to set bond because this is a charge that entitles him to bond. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set bond at the amount of $7,500 with the following conditions. Dayron must provide fingerprint exemplars as a condition of bond. He must present either a Florida identification card or driver's license or his birth certificate from whatever jurisdiction would hold his birth certificate. He may not have contact with the alleged victim. He may not return to Publix. At 4401 13th Street in St. Cloud.
Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
We do have a rapid ID for him, and it's his name from the rapid ID is Dayron Aguilera.
Okay, that's not on this cover sheet, so you do know who he is then?
Yes, sir.
What is the other legal constraint?
He have a warrant out of Virginia for failure to appear.
All right. All right, so I'm going to then modify, since we know who Mr. Dayron is, I'm going to withdraw the conditions that he provide the documentation concerning his identity. How did you all have the rapid ID? Was that based on fingerprints, or what was that based on?
Yeah, that's how they do it with the fingerprints when they do the rapid ID at the jail.
Okay, so I'll withdraw the fingerprint too then, because that means you already have those.
Yes, sir.
All right, but the other conditions will remain, the no return and the $7,500. Okay, thank you, sir. Valencia Green, or Jalencia Green, 22 MM 1894. How do you pronounce your name, ma'am?
Jalencia.
Jalencia, okay. All right, ma'am, you were arrested for misdemeanor battery. It looks like domestic violence. There is probable cause. I don't have a victim here in the courtroom. Ma'am, if I grant you a small bond or a low bond with pretrial release conditions, I have to order no contact in the meantime. So where would you be living?
Probably with my son or daughter.
I'm sorry?
Probably with my son or my other daughter.
Okay, so you don't need to, where were you living when the incident that is the basis of this case arose?
My home.
Was that 186 La Paz?
Correct.
All right, who else lives there?
My other daughter.
Is that,
and her 3 children.
is that
Tanisha.
Tanisha is your daughter or one of your granddaughters?
Tanisha is my daughter.
Okay.
And Your Honor, the daughter, she does want contact with her mother.
Right, but she's not here, and I have to order no contact unless someone's here to tell me in person.
Okay.
So you'll be able to get that modified probably at some point, ma'am, but until that happens, you're gonna have to go somewhere else. All right? All right, so there is probable cause. You do qualify for non-monetary pretrial release conditions, but only with a bond. So I'm gonna set your bond at $500 with pretrial release conditions. I'll let you return to 186 La Paz Drive in Kissimmee one time with law enforcement to obtain your personal belongings, but you will have to reside elsewhere until you can get before the court to modify those conditions. You may not have any contact with any victims or witnesses. Okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Jose Santiago Rodriguez, 22 MM 1896.
Your Honor, if I may, in the last case, was there a condition as well as no return to scene of offense or residence?
Well, I ordered one-time return only, so yes, it would be no return other than the one time with law enforcement. Yeah, that's fine, thank you. All right, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So you were arrested for battery, misdemeanor battery, domestic violence. All right, there is probable cause. You're not entitled to, or you don't qualify for non-monetary release in this case. Don't have a witness here today. I don't see any indication that there's any need for you to have contact with the alleged victim. Wait a minute, I'm misreading the affidavit. All right, yeah, so I need to order that you have no contact with the alleged victim. You must maintain a separate residence. May not return to the residence except for one time with law enforcement to obtain your personal belongings. Going to set your bond at $1,000 with pretrial release. No, you don't qualify for pretrial even with bond. So I'm going to set your bond at $1,000 with the no contact and no return except with law enforcement one time, maintain separate residence. Do not possess any weapons or firearms. Your bond in case number 2018 CT 3398 is revoked on the basis of the new charge. There will be a zero bond on that case until you can get in front of the Orange County judge.
Your Honor, what was the CT case number again?
2018 CT 3398.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. All right. Nathan Slaughter, 22 CT 2794, 22 CF 2424. All right, Mr. Slaughter, you were arrested for driving while license suspended or revoked with knowledge. You were also arrested on the charges of carrying a concealed weapon, carrying a firearm or ammunition by a convicted felon, trafficking in methamphetamines, greater than 28 grams, less than 200 grams, possessing marijuana, less than 20 grams, and possessing controlled substance. There is probable cause for the arrests. Your bond in the CT 2794 case is $500. In case number 2424, your bond on the first count is $500. On count 2, $4,000. On count 3, $200,000. On count 4, $250. And on count 5, $1,000. All All right, conditions of release will be no driving without a valid license, no possession of any drugs or narcotics without a prescription, and I'm not going to order you to not possess weapons or firearms because that would be a new crime and would separately violate your condition if you did those things.
Your Honor, it's two more charges on the second.
There are 2 more charges?
Yes, sir. Is it 7? 1, 2.
Oh, okay, here we go. Count 6 is possession or use of drug paraphernalia, and count 7 is selling, manufacturing, or delivering drug paraphernalia. The bonds on each of those counts are $500. So the total bonds on case number 2424 are $206,750. All right, thank you, sir.
Your Honor, can you repeat that, please?
Repeat what?
The counts, the bonds on the counts.
Yes. Count 1, 500. Count 2, 4,000. Count 3, 200,000. Count 4, 250. Count 5, 100. Count 6 and 7, $500 each.
The last count, 100?
500 each. All right, Felix Vasquez, 22 CF 2425. All right, sir, you were arrested for misdemeanor battery, domestic violence, and criminal mischief of $1,000 or more. There is probable cause. You do qualify for pretrial release conditions with a bond. So I'm going to set your bond at $1,000. With pretrial release conditions. You may not have any contact with the listed victim. You may not return to the residence except one time with law enforcement to obtain your personal belongings. You must maintain a separate residence. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. All right, is there anything further state?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Smith, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Is Officer Jenkins?
Is you gonna give a bond for the criminal mischief?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I will do $150 on the criminal mischief. So $1,000 on the battery, $150 on criminal mischief for a total bond of $1,150 with pretrial release conditions and the conditions I announced. Okay? And I believe that brings us to our last case, Mr. Wilson. Dennis Wilson, 22 CF 2426.
Your Honor, he has refused.
All right, so we will see Mr. Wilson tomorrow. We'll reset that for tomorrow.
Yeah, he was reset today, Your Honor, because he said he does not want pretrial release. So we came, I guess they reset it to see whether or not you just want to give him bond on these charges.
Well, he didn't qualify for non-monetary pretrial release. He qualified with bond.
Yes, sir.
All right, let me take a look. So this was addressed over the weekend.
Yes, sir.
Did he appear over the weekend, or?
I was off, but I think he did appear, but
He did. He's a re-IA.
So he did appear, so he's been in front of the judge, he just refused today.
he just refused PTR when they tried to release him.
Right.
He said he did not want PTR, so he wouldn't take it, so they wanted us to bring it back today.
Yeah, well, the judge reduced the bond so he could have pretrial release conditions. I don't think he was ever eligible for direct pretrial release.
Right, just on, I think just on the second and the third charge, I think he was eligible for direct on those two, but not the first one. The $250.
Your Honor, I believe the order from the weekend is attached to the paperwork.
Right, I see that. And as I said, the weekend duty judge had reduced the bond. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set bond. There is probable cause. The weekend judge already found probable cause as well. The bond on count one was reduced to $250. I'm going to stay bond on count two at $250, and I will stay bond on count three at $500. And I will delete the pretrial release conditions. As the weekend judge was trying to delete the two bonds for counts 2 and 3 and grant direct pretrial release. So I'm going to order no pretrial release conditions, but a total bond of $1,000.
Okay.
That seems to be consistent with what the weekend judge would have intended had they known that he did not want pretrial release.
So $250 on all three?
No, $250, $250, $500.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, and no contact with the listed victim, no return to the location of the offense, which was 2482 Roble Drive in Kissimmee. All right, Ms. Smith, is there anything else I need to address?
No, that's it, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Quinones, anything further?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
All right, thank you all for your patience and grace today. Have a great afternoon. We'll be in recess until the next docket matter at 2:30. 2:30 was canceled? No one told me. I mean.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
You may. Have a great afternoon. You as well, Ms. Officer Jenkins. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, it's not on the electronic docket, so it must have been canceled. So We are adjourned.